wines of Sicily are really, really beautiful, and that's kind of a bit of a generalization, but you can get carried away with the landscape and gorgeousness that does come out of Sicily. And some of it, right down in the south of Italy, you imagine to be baked and hot and rich and red and dark and powerful, and some of it is absolutely as elegant as the lightest of red Burgundies that you ever find. It's a wonderful, wonderful land of hugely varied qualities. Yeah, quality up and down, but qualities in terms of diversity of style. And one particular grape variety that I've always loved from Sicily is called Nerello Mascalese. Nerello being some kind of variant of Nero being black, and Mascalese probably a town or a flavour or something. I'm not entirely sure, but here is one such thing that is that's really beautiful, and it is in some people's hands quite a lot like Pinot Noir. However, that's not quite what you get here. Why not? Why not treat it in that way? Well, because not all roads lead to Rome. But actually, they do in Italy, don't they? Look, the point about this one is that it's a version of Nerello Mascalese where they're saying, do you know what? We think that Nerello Mascalese can produce wines that are a bit richer, a bit fuller, a bit darker, maybe a little bit thicker in terms of their structure and texture, and that's what they wanted to do, and they've done it very, very well. They being winemaker Filippo Bacalaro, and it's made specifically for friends of ours, and it's actually really very, very good. It does use a technique that is first seen in the north of Italy called passamento. Now, a passamento wine sees some of its grapes partially dried, or some of the partially dried grape skins added back into the fermenting wine to kick off a second fermentation. In this particular case, it is that they are dried grapes first. And one of the ways of telling that, if you want to know really which way your wine is made, is to check the alcohol. If it's grape skins added back in and re-fermented, typically the alcohol will be a good deal chunkier, up to 14 and a half. This is not. This is 13% alcohol, so it's just made with some of the semi-dried grapes. And as they ferment, they have more of the components that are non-watery. So that is more flavour, more texture, more colour, more of the grape sugars, fructose, so on, and more acid. So everything increases proportionate to the water, which has decreased because that has been dried. About 80% of a grape is made of water. So when that happens, you get a more intense wine. And because the alcohol is kept low, you know that actually they couldn't have had a second fermentation because it's moderate levels of alcohol. All that kind of stuff is sometimes irrelevant when you've got something that is just so nice and smooth and lush and juicy and dark and plummy, and a little bit of summer fruits pudding and a little bit of spice. It's a beautiful wine. It's very, very well made, and you'd never say, oh, I don't like that about it, or I don't like that about it, unless you didn't actually like that type of lovely, smooth, juicy red wine. I hope that you do, because I think it's great, and it's something that's a very welcome part of my consumption repertoire, and I hope that it'll be that for you too.